to you by Spectrum. It's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. It's Only Everything. By HomeServe Heating, Cooling, and Water Heaters, your local heating and cooling experts. By Umberto's, home of the Grandma Pizza. And by Empire City Casino, more play, more perks, earn it all here with MGM Rewards. Ride the thrill. Themes of the game brought to you by Bet365.
What we were all talking about, looking to win the 19th series this weekend. The Braves have had a great start to this year. Freddie Peralta, 32 walks, tied third amongst walking down the Canyon of Heroes. And Soto has been unbelievable. Even when they take a home run away from him, he's still been great.
Freddie Peralta's 5-2 lifetime against the Braves. His first start against Atlanta as a Met. Bryce Elder, after a terrible year last year, has been one of the best pitchers in the National League this season with his new cutter. Mets and Braves, rubber game of 3. First pitch coming up. Braves lineup brought to you by Mike's Amazing. Eli White's big day yesterday earned him another start today. 2 doubles and a home run in yesterday's game. Austin Riley has been in a huge slump. He's hoping that facing Freddie Peralta can get him right. Dom Smith gets his second start in the series, DHing and batting 5th. Michael Harris moves up to the leadoff spot. Mauricio Dubon playing shortstop. Braves are 46-24, 22 games over 500. Walt Weiss in his first year as Braves skipper. And everything has gone right for the Braves despite a wealth of injuries through the first half of the season.
Well, Walt Weiss is the Atlanta skipper, but he's from Suffern, New York, locally. Freddie Peralta shaking those arms out to get loose. A lot of sixes on the line in his last start against the Cardinals. 6 innings, 6 hits, and 6 earned runs allowed for Freddie.
Aha. Meeting your heroes. Nothing like that.
Yeah. How exciting. Oh, Chatterbox. Look at him. I love it. And the Car Shield Metropolitan defense behind Freddie Peralta will be Melendez out in left. And these two guys in the outfield, I mean, sooner or later, one of them is going to win a Gold Glove. They've just been sparkling in the field. Torrens gets behind the plate. And Jared Young back with the right-hander back at first base.
Michael Harris up in the leadoff spot after Dubon led off for the first 2 games in this series. Harris having himself some fine season after a good second half last year. Following an atrocious first half, he has kept it going. Freddie Peralta feels as though he's made some adjustments in his mechanics. He was missing arm side consistently in that last start against the Cardinals. See if he can improve on that today.
I think one of the things he could try and change is become fastball Freddie again. Establish that fastball more than getting quickly to the secondary pitches.
Jared Young, Canadian. No bad Canadian.
Never met a bad Canadian.
Well, one of the things that has characterized Peralta's season in a negative sense this year, he's always been a reverse splits guy, a guy who got left-hand hitters out better than righties. That has not been the case this year.
Yeah, he has not hit his stride. Oh, there's Alan Porter.
Can't go without the crew chief.
Want to be the third base umpire.
That's right.
Okay. I guess he had an emergency.
Yeah, Gary, as far as Peralta, I just think that he has made things very complicated early in the game. I would love him to establish that fastball, especially glove side, and then kind of, after he gets to the first time through the order, then mix in the other pitches.
First pitch of the game from Peralta is fouled back, and we're underway. Harris hit his 14th home run of the year yesterday. It's only the second time this year he's led off. First time came the other day. Of course, when Ronald Acuna's in the lineup, he's usually leading off. And Harris takes a fastball strike, and it's 0-2.
Good fastballs, but we're up and in, then down and in. Ronnie, you wanted him to throw more fastballs?
Yes.
He's starting out of the chute throwing the heater.
And the first wrinkle is fouled off.
When I've seen Freddie at his best, he almost bullies the hitters with his fastball. And to speak what Gary said, he's given up 10 home runs this year, 9 of them to left-handed hitters.
Well, his fastball has been his most effective pitch throughout his career, and that's no different this year. The OPS against his fastball has been outstanding. It's his breaking balls that have given up the damage. 2-2 now to Harris.
That's when he had last start. He had that fastball against the left-handers, Ronnie, that ran up and away out of the strike zone.
Line the other way, and that's going to drop into left field for a base hit from Michael Harris. So Harris able to muscle that ball the other way for a leadoff hit.
Didn't get the heater in enough. And he was able, as Gary said, perfect description, muscle it out over the shortstop's head.
So the Braves have a leadoff base runner, now Mauricio Dubon. Dubon 2 for 9 in this series. Started the first 2 games in left field, playing shortstop today, and that's what he does, play everywhere.
Well, he got his opportunity with Kim, the shortstop, not starting the season, starting on the IL, and he has just taken advantage of his opportunity.
And he lines one the other way for a base hit. So back-to-back opposite field hits for Harris and Dubon to set the table for the Braves.
Well, they got those 2 1-2 hitters, and particularly Dubon. They're 9 drive hitters. On top of the plate, little step in the bucket. Into the back foot came up too. Very interesting.
If you remember in his last start, Freddie Peralta, the Cardinals did a lot of up the middle and the other way as far as their approach to facing Freddie.
So now Matt Olson, 20 home runs on the year, second in the National League, including 1 in this series. And he takes a first pitch fastball high. Torrens thought maybe he'd get the call, but does not challenge it.
51 ribeye steaks, and he's also scored 51 runs.
Leads the National League in extra base hits with 39. And he takes the changeup down. It's 2-0.
Just missed.
Olson today playing in his 853rd consecutive game, the 9th longest streak of all time, and the 2nd longest this century. Only Miguel Tejada has had a longer streak since the turn of the century. They're the home run leaders in the National League. James Wood has been on a tear lately to get to within 1 of Olson. And Olson swings through the fastball, and it's 2-2.
Got to keep the ball up on Olson. He really, every swing from Olson is almost like it's spit out of a computer. The same. You throw him down below the belt, he's going to put a hurt on you.
You'd love to get a ground ball from him, but he does not hit a lot of ground balls. He's looking to lift with every swing. 2-2 from Peralta. He fouls away that fastball.
Yeah, well, he got that one. There he was down and in. He just drops the barrel.
That was against Nolan McClain, against Cianel Perez on Friday night. 2-2 coming, and he crowds him, and it's a full count to Olson with Ozzie Albies on deck.
71 strikeouts on the year for Olson. He does strike out. Runners will not be in motion.
Change up here, Keith.
That'd be a gutty pitch, wouldn't it?
It's hit on the ground through the hole, a base hit. Harris turning third. He's going to be held up there And he scrambles back to the bag and almost got himself tagged out. Third base coach Tommy Watkins wary of Benj's arm in right field, and Harris had to slam on the brakes.
Interesting choice of Benj throwing to third here.
Well, Keith, he wasn't trying to throw to third. He was trying to throw to second when he saw Harris was not going, and he overthrew Bichette. That's what happened. Harris got a great jump, but you know, no outs.
Late hold on Harris.
So the base is loaded and nobody out. Big mess for Freddie Peralta, and Ozzie Albies takes a fastball for a strike. Albies has never had much luck against Peralta, just 1 for 14 in his career.
Another guy you got to keep the ball upstairs.
Curveball stays outside. It's 1-1.
Albies with his patent open stance, but he strides right at the pitcher.
Infield back at double play depth. They'll concede a run to try and get a couple of outs. And that curveball stayed outside. Now it's 2-1.
Ooh, this is a big pitch right here. This is if you're a hitter. I mean, as a pitcher, you know you got to make a pitch. As a hitter, you're saying, I can bust this game open right now with a gapper.
Rocky beginning for Peralta, and Albies pops one up in foul ground. Beatty tracking it, but that'll be out of play.
I know what you're talking about, Keith. There are sometimes you get yourself as a pitcher in such a predicament that you have to challenge the hitter, and you have to trust that one of your guys is going to make a play, or he'll swing and miss.
Two shakeoffs.
Two coming to Albies, and he struck him out with the curveball. There's a big out for Peralta. One away.
Well, one thing has remained the same. When he has gotten into trouble, Freddie Peralta is one of the best pitchers the Mets have as extricating himself out of that trouble.
Opposing hitters hitting just 162 against Peralta this year with runners in scoring position. Now you got Dom Smith up. If you get a ground ball, you get a chance to get through the inning. And he gets that curveball in for a strike, 0-1. Dom is 1 for 5 in this series. He had a nice year with the Giants last year. Didn't play a lot. And he has carried that over into this year with more playing time with the Braves. Ball and a strike to Dom.
I'm with you, Keith. The arm side adjustment is what Peralta needs to make as well against the left-handed hitters.
Yes.
Dom is 2 for 5 in his career against Peralta, and that one sails outside. A change up 2-1.
Hey, it's behind the 8 ball here now.
Same situation he was with Albies.
Yep. It's definitely a hitter's count.
Braves have hit 2 grand slams this year, and Dom Smith has one of the 2. And that's away. Another changeup, and now it's 3-1.
Now it is double your fun, double your pleasure here.
So Peralta's painted himself into a corner. Harris at third, Dubon at second, Olson at first with 1 out. 3-1 to Smith with Austin Riley on deck. And Dom fouls off the fastball. He came right after him, 3-2.
Benj moved about 5-6 steps back, which makes sense, right? When your pitcher's behind the hitter and you know that the hitter's going to have a good swing at it.
Normally Carson plays a very shallow right field.
Ewing's kind of moved into the opposite field, a little bit shade with 2 strikes in center field.
Peralta about to throw his 26th pitch of the inning. He's had a 20-plus pitch inning in every start this year. Long hold. And Smith lines one to left. Melendez is there, has to reach up to make the catch. Harris tags. He'll come in to score the first run of the game. So a sacrifice fly for Dom Smith, and it's 1-0 Atlanta.
Boy, if Freddie can get out of this with 1 run, well done.
Kind of fortunate here. He just challenged him with the fastball away. Nice approach by Dominic there, staying inside the ball and getting it in the air.
It's only the 4th earned run in the first inning that Peralta's allowed this year. 2 of them came on opening day against the Pirates. Now facing the slumping Austin Riley, who has great numbers against Peralta, but over his last 15 games, just 6 for 48. And Riley takes a slider out of the strike zone for ball 1.
He's been a mystery, Riley. Just kind of gotten progressively worse, and he was just a big offensive force for the Braves.
Popped it up on the infield. Semien shading his eyes. And Marcus puts it away to retire the side. So Peralta limits the damage to 1 run. Mets come to bat down 1-0.
As we mark 200.
Call Celino. Call the eights.
Carson Bench has brought great defense, terrific energy, improving bat in his rookie season. He's at the top of the Mets lineup, brought to you by NYU Langone Health. Luis Torrens in there behind the plate, catching Peralta, who's had better success with Torrens than he has with Alvarez. Bryce Elder on the mound, misses outside with his first pitch to Bench.
Elder's always been a guy that's sunk the baseball, two-seamer, changeup, slider, curveball, but the key is that pitch right there. He's started to develop that cutter that he'll throw into lefties to kind of get lefties out.
And as a result, the lefties are hitting just 155 against him this year. There's that slider, and it's 2-1. Bench 0 for his last 9, 2 for 18 on this homestand. And Elder comes in with that cutter, and it's 3-1.
Crowding the left-hand hitters. That's what Montreal's staff did back in the 80s. They just pounded that cutter on the hands. My hands, as a matter of fact.
Roberto Ortiz calling the balls and strikes today. Jim Wolf, John Bacon, and the late arriving Alan Porter. 3-2 to Bench. And Carson draws a walk, and the Mets have a leadoff base runner.
The Brave defense brought to you by Stop and Shop. And you've got Riley Dubon a short today. Olson, of course, the Gold Gloves at first base. Eli White had a big day yesterday. He can fly. He can cover a lot of ground. He's getting rewarded a second straight start. And the grandson of Carl Yastrzemski out in left field.
Carson Bench drawing a leadoff walk may not seem like a big deal, but it is. It's his 34th game leading off. First time he's ever led off the first inning with a walk.
Really?
Yeah. Well, the Mets as a team have not walked much. They're second from the bottom in the National League in drawing walks. Bichette has been red hot. 2 more hits yesterday. Over the last 10 games, Bichette hitting .389 with an 1146 OPS. Bichette and Soto kept up their hot hitting yesterday, and Mets just didn't get enough help for them. Yanked foul, and it's 1-2.
And you can see Elder on the miles per hour on the gun on his fastball. He is not a hard thrower.
No, he's from the school, Keith. He'll throw any pitch at any time, any count.
And you don't need to be a hard thrower to get people out.
He was an all-star in 2023, but last year was a disaster for Elder. 28 starts, 8-11 with a 5.30 ERA. He started to turn it around late in the season last year. But this year, he has been at the top of his game, 7th in the National League in ERA coming in. And Bichette laces one into left field for a base hit. So the Mets get the first 2 men on in the first. And Bichette picks up his 5th hit and 8 at-bats in this series.
Oh, but Bichette, you're throwing him breaking balls. He's hitting rockets to left field on the slider. That had right down the middle. And Bichette is out of the gate now.
So now an early chance for Juan Soto. He's 4 for 7 in this series. 26 home runs against the Braves, the most he has against any team. He almost had a 27th yesterday that was taken back. Still think that ball was out.
Did he give an explanation?
I thought it was out too. Juan likes to do that first pitch a lot lately, and that's what happens when you're red hot. He loves to hit in this ballpark.
Juan's up to 9th in the National League in on-base percentage, 3rd in slugging percentage. And again, this time he drops down the bunt. The throw by Leon will go to 3rd, and no relay. So he didn't get the ball far enough away from the plate. And it's a 2-5 force play for the first out.
Well, I think that this will be after the game, there'll be a call from the manager, and the manager will say, Juan, don't do that again.
Yeah, remember, he's doing this on his own.
Correct.
The key is to push it hard enough that the third baseman has to feel that was the easiest of plays for Sandy Leon behind the plate.
Hey, you got Juan Soto's bunting when he's been red hot. Thank you very much.
Hey, Carlos Beltran used to do that too.
Yep.
And some folks didn't like it, but he did it on his own, felt he was helping the team.
But he was good at it.
Yeah.
He really was.
Well, Soto's had some bunting.
Yeah, you're right.
Jared Young hitting cleanup, back in the lineup today after sitting against the lefty yesterday. And Elder falls behind him 2-0.
Elder's having a hard time finding the range.
One of the problems last year for Elder is he gave up 24 home runs. He has cut his home run rate in half this year, from 1.4 to 0.7 homers per 9.
Good eye.
And he misses with that cutter, and now he's behind on Young 3-0.
Well, do you let Young swing 3-0 here?
Every pitcher's home run numbers are lower in the first half than they are in the second half.
That's a good point. 3-0 coming. And there's a strike. Although it shouldn't matter as much pitching in Atlanta.
That's right.
It's pretty warm there, even early in the season. A.J. Ewing sitting 5th in the order. He's on deck. Bichette at second. Soto at first with 1 out. Up the middle. That's a base hit for Young. Around third comes Bichette. He'll come in to score. Soto goes to third. Jared Young through the middle of the diamond for an RBI single to tie the game at 1.
Boy, he's a pro, isn't he?
Well, look where the second baseman is, Albie. You got a double play situation, and he's playing. I know he's a pull hitter. Oh, that's an easy score for Bichette. The back runner, Mr. Soto.
You know, Keith, you're right about that, but we saw with St. Louis that was here. The numbers are so skewed on the pull side on the ground for Young that Weatherholt was playing in that 3-4 hole as well.
So Jared Young drives in his 10th run of the year. And the Mets draw even. And now a chance for A.J. Ewing with the go-ahead run at third and 1 out. Ewing's 0 for 5 in this series. Just 2 for 12 in his brief big league career with runners in scoring position. Braves playing the infield back for a double play against a guy who would be tough to double up. Ewing has not grounded into a double play yet in his career.
Those fast legs.
Can't imagine he's going to ground into too many. He'd have to hit a bullet right at somebody. Slashes one the other way. That's a base hit, and the Mets grab the lead. Soto's in to score. Young to third. He'll be held up there. A.J. Ewing with an opposite field double to drive and a run. The ball gets loose, and in to score comes Young, and it's 3-1 New York.
The throw hit the pole on the throw in.
Yastrzemski was throwing from the deep left corner, and he tried to get it toward the cutoff man, and I think he hit the pole that holds the netting.
What nice hitting by Ewing going with that pitch. The throw, he's in the corner. Oh boy,
Well,
that's embarrassing.
Yeah, anytime you're an outfielder, right, when you're trying to throw the ball in, down the line, you're throwing it right down the line. He pulled it just enough to hit the pole, and you're right. A little embarrassing.
Now, Carlos Mendoza is out to argue. I think he's saying that that ball is out of play because the pole is behind the barrier, and that should enable Ewing to score as well. The umpires are going to confer and talk about this.
Or they could say it's out of play, and when it hit, it was a dead ball, and both runners will go back.
Oh boy.
Because Young wasn't scoring until this ball hit.
Right, but you get two bases
Yeah,
from, the point that you're at if the ball is thrown from a fielder out of play. I think now the netting on a batted ball is in play.
Yeah.
The question is on a thrown ball, is it in
Out
play?
of play.
That is alive and in play.
Okay, there you go. So there's the clarification. The pole is in play.
Wow. Oh boy, I've never seen that.
Well, I mean, we didn't used to have those poles until the netting went up a few years ago. It's a relatively new phenomenon. So it's a double for Ewing, an error on Yastrzemski, allowing the second run to score and Ewing to go to third. The infield comes in for Marcus Semien, and he gets tied up by the slider, and I guess he stopped the swing. Oh, now they finally ask, and the first base umpire Jim Wolf said he swung.
Well, you didn't ask me.
So the Mets with 3 runs home in this opening inning and looking for more. Semien 1 for 6 in this series, and he waves at a slider out of the strike zone. It's 0-2.
Wow.
So the Mets jumping on Elder, helped out by the netting pole to score 3 runs. Semien flies one foul. Marcus just trying to get the ball in the air and get Ewing home. Doesn't take a very deep fly ball to do that.
But you almost have to break into your hockey call there, Gary, with the carom.
Tipped in. That's ripped down the left field line, and that almost hit the pole, which we now know is in play.
That's right.
But it's still in foul territory. Up and in to Semien, and it's 1-2. All started with the walk to Carson Bench. Bichette with a base hit, Young an RBI single, Ewing a run scoring double with a third run coming home on the air. 1-2 to Semien, and he struck him out with a fastball. So Elder has his first strikeout in the second out of the inning. Elder's not a big strikeout guy, but as you say all the time, Ronnie, it's not how many you get. Sometimes it's when you get them.
When you get them, true. Well, he's got to get one more out here.
Now the infield can back up. Brett Beatty, the batter. And Brett lines one into center field for a base hit, and that brings in the 4th run of the inning. Ewing comes home to score. Brett Beatty with an RBI single, and it's 4-1 New York. Mets having an excellent first inning adventure against Bryce Elder.
Breaking ball. How much plate? Oh gosh, right down the pipe. There you go. Full extension, outer half. Nice hitting.
Snaps an 0 for 10 for Beatty, his 26th RBI. Now MJ Melendez batting 8th in the order. Melendez has swung the bat much better the last few days, has a hit in each of his last 3 starts. Beatty edges away, doesn't run, and Melendez takes a fastball strike.
Yeah, Beatty looks like he wants to run, though.
'30th pitch of the inning, and it's up and in to Melendez. So Peralta struggled in the top of the inning through 28 pitches, got out of a bases loaded jam with only 1 run scoring, and now the Mets have jumped on Elder for 4. And Melendez gets a breaking ball and pops it up. Riley shading his eyes as he goes and grabs it to retire the side. But the Mets put 4 on the board in the first and lead 4-1.
See that.
Be one of the first 15,000 fans at Citi Field when the Mets take on the Cubs on Tuesday, June 23rd, and get a Mets chain necklace from U.S. Virgin Islands. For tickets, go to Mets.com/tickets. Freddie Peralta with a 4-1 lead as he takes the mound for the second. Throws a strike to Eli White, who was the major part of the Braves offense yesterday. A breakout game for him. His first ever major league game with 3 extra base hits, 2 doubles and a home run. White's a guy who's always been known as an outstanding defender, a great runner, but has never hit a ton, although he's a pretty good pinch hitter. And he earned himself a start today against a right-hander, which doesn't happen for him very often.
Walt White's playing the hot hand, he hopes.
White missed some time in May. Braves were playing at Dodger Stadium, and he ran into the outfield fence trying to make a catch and suffered a concussion and was out for a couple of weeks.
Did the Mets have a left fielder that had a concussion at Dodger Stadium in the past?
Jason Bay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that Dodger Stadium outfield's pretty dangerous. That's where Aaron Judge got hurt.
That's right, with the gate, right? It kind of opened when he crashed into it.
2-2 to White with Mike Yastrzemski on deck. And White reaches out and fouls off the fastball. Yastrzemski on deck, then Sandy Leon. It's a little more formidable lower third for the Braves today, with Ha-Sung Kim on the bench. Grounded to shortstop, circling in is Bichette, and throws out White by a stride, 1 away. 31-year-old Eli White had himself a day yesterday.
Yeah, he hit it all over the ballpark. That was opposite field gap double. There's the home run down the line, left field, and then a rocket up the left center field gap.
And with that bat, his first at bat, he broke it. So maybe he'll cool off.
Now Yastrzemski, who's 1 for 4 in this series. Mike spent the first 6.5 years of his big league career with the Giants before being traded to Kansas City last year. 35 years old now. Beatty playing it on the grass as Peralta spins a curveball in for the strike, and it's 1-1.
If you grew up where I grew up, this was the first hardest word name that you had to learn how to spell. And I'm talking about by 5 or 6 years old, you had to know how to spell it.
Or you could just use the single syllable.
No, it was a badge of honor to be able to spell that.
You had to know.
Looks like.
You had to know where the Z went.
That's right.
That was the hard part, because otherwise it's pretty phonetic. But that Z just comes out of nowhere.
I used to pronounce it to myself, Yastra Zemski.
I did exactly the same thing.
Really?
I did. Curveball hit on the ground to first, and Young will take it himself. You know, after Mike's grandfather Carl won the Triple Crown in 1967, they came out with something called Yaz bread.
Yes.
And it wasn't just a Boston phenomenon, because they sold it in New York too, and we had Yaz bread in the house. Just a regular loaf of bread, but with Yaz's name on it.
He could have sold anything.
Yes, he could have, particularly in the Boston area.
Ooh. Here's Sandy Leon. I mean, look up sometime his September numbers in 1967.
To tell you how amazing that September was, and I know that a lot of folks have had some great Septembers, but in my backyard while we were playing ball, when Yastrzemski came up in September, my mom would bring the radio out. We would stop playing.
Really?
We'd listen to Yaz's at bat. After it was done, we'd go back to playing. That's how important his at-bats were in 67.
And they
Very
were all important because it was a 4-team race right down to the last day.
Yes.
That's pulled by Leon, foul 1-2.
It was the Twins,
White Sox,
and Detroit, right?
Yeah.
And I
Everybody-
know this is not true, but it seemed like every time they needed a base hit, he got it each and every time.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, Brett.
Arnold,
That's it.
I found that bread to be very hard.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you ate it anyway because it was Yaz
Of course.
bread.
It was good for French toast if you soaked it in the eggs long enough.
Got to hope that bread's got to have hits in it.
2-2 to Leon, who's 3 for 39 on the year. And he just got a piece of that breaking ball and fouled it off Torrenz's mask. So here he has his numbers in September. He had 417 with 9 homers and 26 RBIs and a 1265 OPS in September of 1967.
I never had a 400 month. I think the highest I ever had was I had in 79. I had 380 plus months. 380.
Leon socks one foul. Triple Crown winner in 1967.
Look at that top hand. Look what a great shot. Follow through right there.
Now,
Line drive.
there were some folks who wanted to say it wasn't a real Triple Crown because he tied for the home run lead with Harmon Killebrew.
That's right.
But it was the second year in a row that an American League player had a Triple Crown. So Frank Robinson did it the year before with the Orioles.
That's right. That was his first year with the Orioles, was it?
Yes, 66.
Yeah, they traded him in after 65.
And they won it all.
Yep.
Swept the Dodgers in the World Series. 3-2 to Leon, and he struck him out with the fastball. Second strikeout for Peralta, so a shutdown inning for Freddie. 1-2-3 after getting the lead. 4-1 lead, trying to take the rubber game of their first series of the year against the Braves. We'll be seeing a lot of Atlanta over the next 2 months. In fact, all 13 games between the Mets and the Braves will be done by August 12th. They didn't start till June 12th.
Crazy schedule.
You don't have three back and forths in division anymore. That's crazy.
Mets got 4 runs in the first off Bryce Elder. Only the third time this year the Mets have scored 4 or more in the first inning. They did it opening day against Paul Skeens when they got 5. They did it against Miami, and now today against Elder, who's been one of the best in the league this year. Luis Torrens had 2 hits in the opening game of this series, and he takes it high, ball 1. Have done awfully well when they score 4, but most teams do.
Yeah.
That's usually the line of demarcation.
Especially when you get them in the 1 inning.
I used to love that stat when they would talk about the great Tim Hudson, who pitched for the Braves for many seasons, started with the A's. And the stat was when he got 4 or more runs of run support, his record was phenomenal.
Like 135-2 or something absurd
phenomenal.
like that. Yeah.
He was a fantastic pitcher.
Fantastic.
What a competitor he was.
Not a big guy.
Nope. I love
he
to
was
watch him pitch.
And when he was with the A's, grounded to Albies, and he throws out Torrens one away. When they had Mulder and Zito and Hudson together, what a pitching staff that was.
I know. I mean, I can't believe they got cut out of Moneyball.
Well, they didn't fit the narrative.
Oh, okay. That's quite a record right there. That's
Borderline Hall of Fame.
yeah, borderline right there.
The ERA is not quite Hall of Fame, but he was a great pitcher. Fun to watch.
Yep.
Great athlete. Here's Carson Benj, who drew a leadoff walk to get the Mets started in the first. So he said that was the first time Benj had ever walked leading off a first inning, and they score 4 runs.
Well, let's go.
Maybe he
Carson.
needs to do that more often.
He wants to hit. I get it.
And now he has a hit. So there you go. He's going to take a turn and hold on as White gets the ball in. So Benj is aboard for the second time. That's up their 5th hit against Elder.
And Benj, we've mentioned it before. When he first came up, had a hard time with the high pitch. And he has become relaxed and in rhythm, and he's hitting the high ball now. That's Belt. Really falls back on his follow through.
Now the red-hot Bo Bichette, who singled to left and scored in the opening inning. Bo's now 5 for 8 in this series as his numbers continue to inch up. Bench at first has not been running much lately. 10 steals on the year. Bichette fouls off a sinker, and it's 0-2. Make your favorite Mets players all-stars. Scan the QR code to cast your daily 2026 Konami eBaseball MLB All-Star ballot, or visit MLB.com/vote. Bichette strikes out on 3 pitches. Second strikeout for Elder, 2 out of the inning. And now Soto, who will not be bunting this time up.
No.
I mean, his bunt set the stage for a 4-run inning. By the way, Juan has 16 bunt hits in his career. And Riley is not coming in even a smidge closer.
I love, of all the Mets hitters, person who challenges the least is this guy.
Oh, it's always the 216, 220 hitters that moan and groan.
Well, they need the edge.
Well, they're getting edged out. That's what's happening.
Well, yesterday was a real case in point for husbanding your resources. Mets wasted a couple of challenges in low leverage situations early in the game and didn't have it late in the game when they could have used it. Change up off the plate, and he stopped the swing. 1-1. Bryce Elder giving up 4 runs in the first inning, so this will not be a quality start for him today. Dating back to last August, 16 quality starts in his last 21 appearances, which is more than any pitcher in baseball over that span. But not today.
You better be careful with that cutter over the middle of the plate to Soto.
And Juan grounds one toward the middle of the dime, and that's past Albies for a base hit. Benz will go first to third, and the Mets have runners at the corners with 2 out. Second time the Mets have beaten Albies up the middle. Jared Young did it, and now Soto.
Sometimes you just find the holes, right? And the biggest obstacle on that hit was the umpire. Up the middle, had to get out of the way.
Benj has got that gallop.
Yeah.
That running style of his.
Cuts that base so nicely. So now another RBI chance for Jared Young, who drove in the first Met run with a single up the middle. And they're playing him exactly the same way this time. Maybe Albies a step or 2 closer to the middle this time.
Yeah, he's deeper, certainly, since he's not in double play depth either. That gives him a little more room to work with. If I were Soto, I would stay on the base, give him that entire hole.
Absolutely.
Juan has not been running much this year, just 6 steals after 38 last year. Of course, he missed time with a calf injury.
Boy, Elder's not here for a very long time. They're making him work. 46 pitches. It's just been a labor for him. He's under the gun every pitch.
Behind Young, 2-0, and a check swing foul. Not what Jared wanted. 2-1. Well, he fell behind Young his first time up.
Ronnie, when you had a game like Elder's having, where you're in it early, does it tax you? Is it?
Well, it's definitely taxing, but you had more room to work with in my era, right? You had more pitches to work with to kind of get it out of your system.
What do you mean by that?
Like he's going to have 90 pitches. He's halfway there. I could have 120, 125 to work with, but these are the ones that kind of show what kind of competitor you are. You know, I'm not good today. How do I keep it close so my team can rally?
We saw that with Nolan McLean the other night. I mean, Nolan threw 42 pitches in that second inning. He said he was very fatigued by the end of the inning, but he was able to limit the damage and give the Mets another couple of innings.
These are the kind of games where it really shows what kind of teammate you are, kind of inside you have.
And you know what? If you're pitching for the Atlanta Braves, who have shown quite a knack for coming from behind, you know that if you can stop the bleeding,
Yep.
you still have a chance.
Correct. A lot of game left.
Soto will be running. Olson will play behind him now. Jeremy Hefner, former Mets pitching coach, now in the same role with the Braves, looking on. Elder has been a prized pupil this year for Hefner, but struggling today. 3-2 to Young. A.J. Ewing would be next. Soto gets set to run. And that was very close to a pitch clock violation, so Elder stepped off. Braves' overall ERA is best in the National League. They've given up the second fewest hits, but Elder's already been tagged for 6 hits in an inning and 2/3. And Young pops one up on the infield. And Riley on the grass. One hands it. Side retired after 2, 4-1 New York. Years, but the Braves have opened up a big lead this year. Braves won 8 straight NL East titles, or 7 straight before the last 2 seasons. This is since 2006 when SNY came on the air.
Seems like yesterday. 2006. Anyway.
Oh, well, not exactly. It was 20 years ago today. Sergeant Pepper told the band to play.
That's right. Well, we played, sometimes to the chagrin of many.
Michael Harris had an opposite field single. Braves had 3 straight hits against Peralta, but only got 1 run in the first inning. Second time around the batting order now for Peralta, who worked a 1-2-3 second. Those shoes that Michael Harris is wearing.
Yeah.
They stand out. A little broken bat flare, and Semyon backhands it.
They do and stand out like the old day glow.
I mean, I've got highlighters that look much like Harris's shoes.
I mean, I just think of Cespedes whenever I see those kinds of colors.
Remember the day glow paint? That was all just. That's what it looks like to me. Very psychedelic.
It's hard to hide when you're wearing that color. Mauricio Dubon lays off the slider.
Yeah, that color is 285.
Yeah.
You got to be hitting 285 or better to wear that color.
Not recommended if you're an escapee.
I don't think we have too many escapees out on the baseball diamond today.
That ball came back right in front of us.
Yeah, good luck.
No, we're never going to get hit up here. Well, I mean, knock on wood. Knock 3 times.
It's the 18th year of this ballpark, and they haven't come close yet. A little dribble around in front of the plate. Peralta off the mound and barehanded, and the throw is perfect. 2 out. By the way,
Yes.
were you watching the game Friday night
Yes.
when Cionel Perez fielded a ball along the third base line and threw a submarine bullet to first base?
It was like almost a softball throw.
I mean, I could understand if he were a sidearm pitcher, but that's not his arm angle. That was phenomenal.
Well, I think in today's game we tend to see a lot of pitchers, especially out of the pen, that come out and they field something, and it's a 50-50 whether it's going to be in the vicinity of the first baseman, and he just threw a rocket.
Ooh, that didn't miss by much.
Matt Olson singled to right his first time up. He's now 4 for 12 with a home run against Peralta. Freddie grunting as he misses high at 2-0. Power Report brought to you by Blue Chew Gold. Matt Olson came to the Braves in 2022, but going back to 21, he is right near the top of the charts. 308 lifetime home runs for Olson.
You know, it's funny. I always heard that you want to be relaxed before the pitch is thrown. He just seems so rigid at the plate right before the pitch comes, like really gripping that bat. But it sure works.
Throw hands out over the plate.
Your hands were out over
Yeah,
the plate.
I did. Yes, that's what it always. I've always note guys that hold their hands out like that.
Fouls off a curveball, and it's 3-2.
I remember your hands were always moving, even though they're out. You used to like just, I don't know if you were relieving the tension or whatever, but
Probably relieving the tension.
yeah.
You always look pretty intense. Fly ball out to shallow right, coming on his bench, looking through the sunglasses. And that retires the side. Peralta's retired 9 in a row. 4-1 Mets in the third. The bottom of the third is double in the first inning, creating some havoc.
Good hitting right there. Fastball upstairs, line drive, got on top. Doink. Thank you.
That is our first doink off the off that particular part of the ballpark. That hit for Ewing was his first in this series. Snapped an 0 for 7. Semien and Beatty to follow against Bryce Elder, who has been hard pressed in this game. 51 pitches in the first 2 innings. Braves used all of their primary relievers yesterday in securing a 3-1 win. That's lined into center field, and Ewing's got his second hit of the day. So AJ is 2 for 2, and the Mets have 7 hits through 2 innings plus against Elder. Drive Around the Majors brought to you by Infinity. Poor Mookie Betts kicked the ball at shortstop, broke up the perfect game for Yamamoto yesterday.
The easiest of plays as well.
Huge blow for the Guardians. Their best player, Jose Ramirez, broke his hamate bone. Jacob Mizorowski, you know about. Braden Montgomery earlier this week, walk-off in his debut.
By the way, the walk-off was a grand slam.
That's lined to short, caught there by Dubon. Scrambling back to first is Ewing. So Semien retired on the line drive, 1 away. Not only did Betts' error break up the perfect game, but it snapped Yamamoto's streak of retiring batters at 45, 1 shy of the major league record held by Yusmeiro Petit. Brett Beatty singled to center to drive and run his first time up. Beatty snapped an 0 for 10 stretch with that base hit. Ewing took a big lead and just got back. Elder has 1 pickoff in his career. It's come this season.
The pitcher, first baseman, catcher, they've done a lot better job at kind of figuring out when those guys are jumping off the base and at least getting a throw over there.
Well, the Mets last year with Antoine Richardson, who's now the first base coach for the Braves, just were taking big leads and getting the walking lead, and it took around 2 months for the league to catch on to it.
Especially Soto. That's how he got most of his steals. Now Ewing takes off early, and that's slapped to third, and a great diving stop by Riley, but he can't make a play. That'll be an infield hit for Beatty. If that ball gets by Riley, that might be a run with Ewing running.
Yeah, maybe not because he had to slide into second, but he certainly would have. You would have had a second and third situation.
And it was a perfect example with that camera angle we had of, we're just talking about that walking lead. Nice play by Riley. Such a good glove.
That was kind of almost like a run and hit play, wasn't it?
So now 2 aboard for Melendez, who popped up his first time up. And he smacks one into right field, but coming on as White jumps up and makes the grab. 2 bullets for outs in this inning. And Elder is fooling nobody.
That is interesting, though, Ron. You said run and hit. If you really think about it, it should be run and hit because you're running and then you're hitting.
I always judge it this way. It's run and hit if the runner on first is really intent on stealing. It's hit and run if he's trying to get a decent jump off first base, not get thrown out, and advance if the base hit happens.
Hit and run sounds a lot better than
Yes, it does.
run and hit.
And in 2026, both are virtually extinct.
Exactly.
Yep. That's a shame, too.
Luis Torrens grounded out to second base his first time up. 2 out and 2 on. And he pulls that one down to third, and Riley will go to first with it. That retires the side. Second straight inning. Elder gives up 2 hits, but no runs. Keeps it a 4-1 game.
I mean, I'll take it. As a Cardinal fan, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a good thing that you showed up a series later after the Cardinals did what they did. But you're wearing the Knicks hat, and right now,
and blue, I got blue and orange. Look, it works.
So it's an NBA Finals hat. So you're at one of the games.
I was. Unfortunately, I was at the game they lost, but look, that made it even better. I mean, come on, that was watching that whole run was unbelievable. So now the Mets got to do pull a little magic out of it. Well, we're gonna get this. One time.
A little beyond our reach. I will say, though.
Here it comes. So close.
I will say, though, that I don't want to give you all the credit for the Knicks championship, but on your new show, I guess 2 years old now, OG Anunoby was a guest star this season.
I will take some credit because before Nick came on our show, it was 50 years before they won a title. I mean, I'm just saying. You're welcome.
Thank you very much on behalf of all New Yorkers. How did that come to be, though? Like, what went into that?
One of the characters on our show is a former NBA player, believe it or not, who won a championship with the Spurs in the lore of the show, and he works on an ESPN type show. And one of the guys he works with is Richard Jefferson, and OG was in town, and he came in. He was an extra on our show, so it was great. He couldn't have been nicer. Obviously, he's one of the great guys on the planet, and had an amazing series, and was really fun to watch. So I wish him all the best, and now he's a world champion. So there you go.
There you go, and there's one out. We do have to ask you, too, about the show. So if you haven't watched the show, I'm just going to give everybody a quick premise. It's an amazing show, Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV. But the premise behind it is you're this hedge fund manager that gets fired,
yes,
and you resort to crime, really. You're stealing a life of crime.
Stealing from his friends and neighbors.
Exactly, and one of the things you stole this season was a Tom Seaver card. So what was behind that idea?
Well, the idea was that it's very Tom Seaver rookie card. Obviously very near and dear to Mets fans all around. But it's a wildly rare and wildly worth a lot of money. So that was the whole point. And yeah, we gave a little nod to the Mets as well in this season that just aired.
So John, some questions just about yourself and your career here. You've had such an amazing career and so many wonderful roles. At this point, when you get to this level, how do you go about choosing what you want to do next? And what was it about this project right now that felt right?
Well, part of it was that it felt like a show I hadn't seen in some time. There was kind of some of the stuff felt a little bit familiar, but mostly it was like something I hadn't really done. It was contemporary, shot in New York City. My wife and I have a place here in the city, so we thought, oh, this could be kind of fun, and it was just, it's a fun show, I get to do a lot of different things. There's an action element to it with all the crime stuff, but also there's a real family element to the storytelling too. So got to put together a pretty amazing cast. Amanda Peet, Olivia Munn also in the show. My wife's also in the show, Anna Osceola. So it just seemed like a good fit, and that's kind of how I choose things. If it's not things like Top Gun Maverick that are just a slam dunk, then I like to pick things that actually fit really well.
All right, final one as Bichette drops the pop-up. You mentioned all these amazing actors. Was there a moment in your career where you were like, oh, I can't believe I'm working with this guy, this guy or this actress? This is just somebody that I never imagined.
Well, Tom Cruise is a pretty pinch me moment, honestly. I can look back to growing up in St. Louis, going to see the original Top Gun, and I was 14 years old at the Warenberg theaters, and full circle moment. I went and I introduced Top Gun Maverick at those same theaters. They had been renamed and reconfigured and everything, to a group of Boeing workers that built the F-18s in my hometown that we flew in Top Gun. So it was pretty wild. Working with Tom was amazing. I think there's going to be another one, a Top Gun 3 happening. So fingers crossed I get to be in that one too.
Awesome. John Hamm, thanks so much for the time, and thanks for the Knicks championship.
You know it. Great. Nice talking with you.
Nice talking to you too. Through 3.5, Mets on top.
Home fourth inning. Carson Bench has already been on base twice in this game. Third time around the order for Bryce Elder. Bench walked to lead off the first inning, single to right in the second. That's got all 4 of their runs in the first. And they've had traffic in each of the last 2 innings as well. 8 hits through 3 innings against Elder. Is now just trying to give the Braves some length. And he misses down with a changeup, a ball and a strike. So you guys know what TIL means?
TIL, no.
TIL in text speak or in tweet
not
speak
until, right?
means today I learned.
Oh, okay.
So TIL, today I learned that Keith Hernandez has never seen Mad Men.
No, I haven't. I got it on my bucket list now.
Oh, it's got to be. Grounded down to first, and Olsen handles it. I mean, John Hamm has been a lot of great things, but I mean, Don Draper is one of the great characters in American TV history.
Also, considering when it happened, it's right up your alley.
It's on the bucket list.
There you go.
I'll binge watch it in the off season. I was disappointed in Landman. He was written out.
Yeah.
His character. I loved him in Landman.
Well, he had to do this show. He's a great guy and great baseball fan.
And I don't know this for sure, but he grew up in St. Louis. He's got to be a big Keith Hernandez fan.
He has to be, but he's a huge Cardinals fan. I know that.
Well, I mean, it's a big age difference. He might not have been old enough.
Carved down the right field line by Bichette, but White was playing over that way and makes the grab 2 out. Well, he was born in 1971, which would make him 8 when you won the MVP.
Perfect age.
Yeah. He was around. 82, he would have been 11.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he knows.
I mean, I was 11 when the Mets won it in '69, so that's a great age.
Steve could have asked him.
I'm sure it was right. It was the next question that we would have asked.
Let's send him back down.
Steve is very comfortable with the celebrities now. He doesn't have to ask the baseball questions. He goes straight to the Hollywood.
He's one of them.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
He's he's equal among the celebrity set.
So how many seasons is Mad Men?
7 maybe.
Oh, okay.
5?
7 seasons?
Is it that many? 6 or 7.
Oh, that's a lot of binge watching. That's off season.
You're gonna have to really binge like you've never binged before.
That's off. That's all. Yeah, I got all that time in my hands in the off season.
You familiar with January Jones?
No.
You will be.
Watch Mad Men.
Steve, I heard, said put his hand up to his ear, and he said, "John, give me a call. We'll do lunch."
Soto had a base hit to center field his last time up, 1 for 2. And that's ball 4, so Soto's on base for the second time. Second walk given up by Elder. Something new today, our Optimum Fiber poll question is a trivia question. Who holds the Mets' all-time home run record?
What? That should...
Use your phone to scan the QR code on your screen to submit your answer now. I'm expecting 100%. In last week's poll, 60% of fans voted that Tom Seaver is still the greatest Mets player of all time.
Yes, he is.
Jared Young flies one into shallow left center, and on comes Yastrzemski to grab it, and that retires the side. After 4, it's still 4-1. Health report brought to you by New York Presbyterian. The Braves are missing some key pieces. Their catchers, Baldwin and Murphy, although Baldwin's on his way back. Ronald Acuna out with a hamstring for the second time.
Mets go to Atlanta over the 4th of July weekend, correct?
Yeah, that's a great series, Keith. We're going to have a great time in Atlanta.
We got with the first and the last game. Is that what it is?
So the road trip starts in Toronto.
Yes, I'm there.
3 games in Toronto. Then you fly to Atlanta. Thursday off.
Okay.
We do the game Friday night. National TV Saturday. National TV Sunday. And then we do the game Monday night. So we get 3 off days in Atlanta.
And coming home after that night game, leaving Atlanta, there's no off day. It'll be, you got to take the charter back. With
3 off days in Atlanta. It's like being I don't know.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Well, that's exactly the point.
I just texted Matt Sanduli. I'm out. I'm not going to Atlanta.
I don't have Toronto, so
I have Toronto, Canada's Day.
I mean, you can get from Atlanta to Hilton Head. Just saying.
I could do that. It's going to be awful hot, though. Ooh. Well, so is Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the AC in your room.
Yeah, one of the off days in Atlanta is the 4th of July, so everything will be closed.
That's right. Well, you guys have a great time.
We're going to have a bang-up time.
Well, if everything's closed, we can go on a liquid diet for a day.
What does that mean exactly? Like a cleanse? Is that what you're talking about?
You could do double binge. You could do a liquid diet and the Mad Men.
1-2 to Eli White, leading off in the 5th. Peralta gave up 3 straight hits to start the game. Since then, he's retired 12 in a row.
Another hitter that rests that bat on his shoulder. It won't remain there.
He's got a real classic stance, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's very upright.
Yep.
He can fly, too. He's gifted with wheels, as Lenny would say.
According to StatCast, the Braves have 2 of the 3 fastest players in the major leagues.
Really?
White and Jorge Mateo. Fly ball out to center, and Ewing has it measured. The only other guy in the top 3 is Bobby Witt Jr., shortstop for the Royals. So 1 out. That's 13 in a row for Peralta. And here's Mike Yastrzemski, who grounded out to first base his first time up. The Braves lost their last series in Chicago to the White Sox, rain-shortened series. They got swept the 2 games. And with their 3rd series loss of the year, the Mets trying to make it 4. And Peralta looking very sharp after a rough beginning.
I was just thinking, this is why pitchers are a little out there. He came into this game, he could have been knocked out in the 1st. That's how bad it was, and here he is throwing a gem right now.
Yastrzemski fouls off the changeup, and it's 1-2. The Mets are in Cincinnati tomorrow night. They'll be facing Chase Burns, who was just so impressive against the Mets when the Reds were here a few weeks ago. It's popped up foul. Terren's back for a look, but that's out of play. The road ahead for the Mets brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. The Reds have hit hard times since Ellie De La Cruz went down with a hamstring. They've lost 11 of 15. And during that 15-game stretch, they're hitting 151 with runners in scoring position.
And the Cubs, after the Phillies, 1 game that we do on Thursday, the Cubs were the best team in baseball when the Mets saw them in Chicago.
Yep. Not anymore. Ground ball. Backhanded by Bichette, avoids Beatty and throws out Yastrzemski, 2 out. Beatty cut in front, couldn't get it, but Bichette was right there behind him.
Oh,
What do we get? We get a Knicks logo there?
The face paint person is holding onto the poor child's head a little firm, isn't he? Or she? It's a death grip.
Well, you move your head, all of a sudden you get paint in your mouth.
No, but
no, it's going to be a baseball.
Oh, nice. Mr. Met will be happy with that.
Is it the Mets logo?
No, it's just a baseball like Mr. Met. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yep.
Getting a little Mets. Very nice.
kid's going to have a migraine
This
this
is
afternoon.
I feel like I'm at a county fair. Oh, that's great, sitting behind him.
Would you like me to get you some fried dough?
No.
An elephant ear?
Oh, and your son yesterday with the cotton candy.
He was
Ron.
He was taunting you,
Oh.
yeah. Holding it right up in your face.
Oh, he's getting to be a little bratish.
He's a little. He's been a little afraid of you guys, but he's starting to get a little comfortable.
He's starting to get a little full of himself.
Exactly.
Pulled on the ground, and that's a base hit for Sandy Leon. Only his fourth hit in 41 at-bats this year, and it snaps a string of 14 in a row retired by Peralta.
And of all guys to break the streak, Sandy Leon in the 9-hole, who's been struggling, hitting under 100, the new Mendoza line.
No. Mendoza never hit under 100.
No, I'm saying it's a new.
It's the Al Leiter line.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
Sorry, Al.
Trying to think about who was the Atlanta Brave pitcher, that Bob Buell.
Bob Buell went 0 for 71 years.
Yes, Bob Buell was a good pitcher. Bob Buell.
Back in the early 60s. Michael Harris is 1 for 2. So here's the ultimate insult, right? You're on first base with 2 out. It's a 4-1 game in the 5th, and they're playing behind you.
Right.
Well, I'm sure Sandy's used to it.
He's not going anywhere. And Jared Young knows it, so doesn't need to hold him on. Well, change up outside to Harris, who has a penchant for chasing, but not in this at bat so far. He's got the second highest chase rate in the major leagues, over 45%. But now Peralta behind him, 3-0. And that's ball 4, and all of a sudden the Braves are going to get the tying run to bat. First walk of the day given up by Peralta, who came into the day 4th in the National League in walks allowed.
Well, the issue is when you score runs early, you know, your intent is to add on. So it puts you in a spot where if you do make a mistake, you're still winning the ball game. Now you're in a place because they haven't been able to add on. One bad pitch by Peralta changes the whole face of this game. I would say, though, young Mr. Willard, he's been money when he comes out for his visits. Post Willard visits I would like to know that batting average.
Peralta has his second 20-pitch inning of the day. It's been a big problem for Freddie in terms of getting deep into games. Now he's got Mauricio Dubon, who's 1 for 2 today.
Boy, Benj in right field shallow. He loves to play shallow with that arm. Leon has no shot at scoring on a base hit.
Dubon was bailing out as Peralta hit the outside corner.
He does that a lot on the first pitch, and then there's no bail after that.
Right.
It's almost like he's setting you up.
By the way, that last pitch was 98 from Peralta. So I think maybe there's a little verity in what you're talking about with the Justin Willard visit.
Yeah, there is.
Pumped him up to 98. Breaking ball hit to third, handled by Beatty, gets the out at second, side retired. Willard does it again. So does Peralta.
No, like most places in New York City today, the Mets clubhouse was all abuzz about the Knicks last night. And I had a few interactions with players that I thought were pretty notable, starting with the guy who's coming up to lead off this inning, A.J. Ewing, who said that with about 5 seconds to go in the game yesterday, he walked out onto the balcony of the place where he's staying just so he could hear the city explode. And he said that it was actually interesting to see it almost have a cascading effect, as you could see people were watching a little bit behind depending on what cable system they were on. Also said that he looked down on the street afterwards, and there were 2 cars that, not police cars, just regular pedestrian cars, that had blocked off either end of the street so that people could go into the middle of the road and just celebrate. So, I thought that was a pretty cool experience from a 21-year-old.
As he flies one to deep right, and that's gone. A.J. Ewing with his second career home run, his own Knicks celebration. And it's 5-1 Mets. Well, quite a day for A.J. Ewing. A double, a single, and now a home run. And, often you say, triple shy of the cycle, it's never going to happen. With him, it might happen.
Oh, Spider-Man. Okay.
I didn't notice. Did they fix the right eye on the Spider-Man mask? And now Semien flies one to deep center. Back goes Harris near the wall, and he leaps and he made the catch. No, he missed it. It's a home run. Harris almost robbed the home run, but Semien got it just past his glove, and the Mets go back-to-back in the 5th inning.
There is no one on the planet better robbing home runs than Michael Harris. And he almost came up with another beauty.
He came extraordinarily close to this one. I thought at first it had gotten in his glove, but it just missed.
There, look at this leap. Oh, he had it, and is it contact on his wrist, on his ulna, right there.
Oh, it's right in the pocket of the glove.
Yes. And that's going to be it for Elder.
He thought for sure he had it. Money Mike. Bereft. Mets go back-to-back. Elder out, Dylan Dodd coming in, 6-1 Mets. We'll be right back. Lefty Dylan Dodd in to pitch after the Mets strafed Bryce Elder for 6 runs in 4 innings plus.
Been up a couple of different times. You see his numbers so far, though, just excellent. Reverse splits. He gets righties out better than lefties.
Those sinkers and cutters.
Well, there's the home run of Ewing. Quick inside, cutter. That is one thing. Ewing has a very compact swing. I really love his swing. It's a line drive hitter. Turned on that cutter really nicely.
Some great hang time from Eli White.
Oh, my goodness. Like Dr. J.
Just like climbed it like Spider-Man.
That's a theme.
Brett Beatty's 2 for 2 today. Single to center in the first, then had an infield hit in the third. Elder went 4 innings plus, 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, 2 home runs.
Yep.
That's going back-to-back for the second time in this series. Before this series, the Mets had 1 set of back-to-back home runs this season, and that was on opening day against the Pirates when Benj and Alvarez did it. Then Friday, Bichette and Soto, and now today, Ewing and Semien. For Semien, his 9th home run of the year, after Ewing hit his 2nd. 3-2 to Beatty with Melendez on deck. And Brett takes a walk, so he's on base for the 3rd time today.
Here's Simeon on over. Oh boy, inner half. That's where he likes it. Usually he pulls that ball. This time he let it wait. Look at that. Almost a phenomenal catch.
In the pocket of the glove. I mean, the glove didn't hit on the fence, but his wrist hit the fence.
It kind of just like slapped it out of the glove.
It's, yes. Jerks it out.
It's like if you took your glove and you had a ball in it and you went like like that.
It's like a little whiplash.
That's why it always amazed me, as Melendez challenges that call, the catch that Andy Chavez made. There was every reason that that ball should have fallen out of the back of his glove because of the way his arm hit the wall. That's still a strike, so Melendez loses the challenge. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. He brought it back like it was a cesta from Highlight, you know?
I mean, because the ball was halfway up out of the webbing, snow cones, and somehow it stayed in.
I don't know if because it was Andy was smaller, but his glove always looked bigger than everyone else's, didn't it?
Might have been.
Big black glove he used to use. Boy, what a good defensive player he was.
Well, it's like Lenny. Lenny's glove looked like it was oversized. Melendez holds the swing, and it's 3-1. So Dodd has come in, had trouble throwing strikes. Normally a guy who does not walk many, and now he's walked one left-hand hitter and walk another. And so back-to-back walks to the left-hand hitters. And Mets have 2 men on with nobody out. So Cionel Perez up in the Mets bullpen with Peralta having thrown 90 pitches through 5. Looks like he's done for the day. That's getting him some insurance here in the 5th and a chance for some more with Luis Torrens.
Peralta is done.
Still prowling.
Yeah.
Torrens has been up twice, grounded out both times. He pulls that one to third, a chance for 2. Albies with the turn, and they get the double play. Beatty to third, 2 out.
Riley is so smooth, no rush.
Well, as bad as he has been offensively, he has been just that good defensively.
That'll keep you in the lineup.
Now Carson Benj, 1 for 2 and a walk. Beatty at third with 2 out. Benj swings and misses at a fastball.
Benj looked like he was going deep there.
Well, Ewing did it.
That's right. Anything you can do.
Another big cut of the fastball, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, that one got thrown a little bit by him there. 95 up and in. Good pitch.
The 10 hits allowed by Elder matches career high.
They have the pictures of the players on the center field jumbotron. Quite funny, each and every one of them.
3 pitches, and Elder takes care of Benj, and that ends the inning. But the Mets get home runs from Ewing and Simeon to build a 6-1 lead after 5.
All right, to the 6th we go. Mets on top 6-1. New pitcher for the Mets, Cionel Perez, after 5 strong innings from starter Freddie Peralta. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but they're showing Nick's highlights again on the video board. I don't think it's any coincidence, by the way, guys, that we started talking in the last half inning about the Mets and what they watched last night with that Knicks game, and then they go hit back-to-back home runs. The second of those back-to-back home runs was from Marcus Semien, and I thought he had really interesting perspective on that game last night. He said for him what he really connected with was the post-game interview with Jalen Brunson on the court, where he couldn't speak. He couldn't get the words out because, remember, Semien was a part of a team that ended a long drought too with the World Series win in the Texas Rangers, and he said he felt that exact same way being interviewed after the game, he couldn't put into words what it felt like and express it properly. The other guy that I thought was interesting, and again, this is only a professional athlete's perspective, was Brooks Raley, who said, listening to Brunson talk about those hours in the gym alone, working and working and working, that's what really gave him the chills. And I think if you're a pro athlete, it's across the board. There's so much work that goes into it that nobody sees, and you just have to do behind the scenes to get here. And so, for all these guys, they just it was a great joy for them to watch what the Knicks did.
Listening to Brunson a couple of days ago talk about when he was grinding with his dad, Rick, and his dad, they had just put in a beautiful new inside court near their home. And his dad would say, well, we're going to work out tomorrow. He said, what time at the gym? He goes, gym? We're going on the blacktop. No gym. There's AC in the gym. We're not doing AC. We're going to do the blacktop.
Really?
And that's why he's where he's at today.
Of course.
He's going to go down now as one of the great Knicks of all time.
No doubt.
And kudos to Jay Wright.
That's right.
Because Jay was one of the smartest recruiters there's ever been. He recruited families, not just players.
That's right.
And that's how you get people like Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges, who are all great people in addition to great basketball players. And other than Bridges, the other two were not expected to be great pros.
Right.
Brunson was not a first-round draft pick. Josh Hart, nobody thought was going to be a pro. And look what they've done.
Well, and congratulations to head coach and the coaches there for the Knicks as well. That's a hard job in any professional sport, and he had to follow a coach that had a lot of success but couldn't kind of get him over the hump. He got him over the hump.
And shout out to Leon Rose too, because most of those players were acquired from other organizations.
I don't know. I'm an interloper here, right? I'm not a New York guy. Just been in New York forever. But when I think about it, basketball is maybe the only sport in this city that is such a unifier. Maybe because its uniqueness in the history of New York City and how basketball was played in the 20s and 30s and how it is right now. So I don't know. Like it unifies 110th Street and Wall Street. Unifies Rucker Park and Bryant Park.
Well, it's the only sport that everybody plays.
That's right.
We don't have the fields to play baseball or football necessarily. It's the city game, and that's. There's all you need is a hoop and some blacktop. Everybody can play basketball, and everybody does at some point in their lives in this city.
And of all the big three sports, it's the most fun to practice.
That's right.
And to work and to play.
And guys, I also think, with the Knicks in particular, the reason they unify the city, it's the only team where the entire city, for the most part, is behind them. You've got the Mets and Yankees split, the Jets and Giants split, the Rangers, Islanders, Devils split.
You ever heard of the Nets?
No, I haven't.
I mean, when you think of baseball, when you think of the Yankees, it's a borough. It's the Bronx. The Mets are Queens, even though there's tons and tons of fans everywhere. But it's the Apollo Theater and the Delacorte Theater. It's, Sylvia's Keen Steakhouse and Barney Greengrass. I mean, all the people that would eat at those places come together and are Knicks fans. So it's cool.
Ciano Perez, who gave up a home run to Matt Olson on Friday, gets him to fly out on the 10th pitch of the at-bat.
Eggs and onions at Barney Greengrass, by the way.
Lox, eggs, and onions. Yeah. Ozzie Albies struck out and grounded out. And he has to move his feet on that 97-mile-an-hour heat from Perez. Ciano Perez, other than that, a home run by Olson the other night, has looked awfully good in his brief outings for the Mets.
He's not a big man, but boy, he has a big arm.
He had some really good years with the Orioles.
Yes, he did.
There is no reason to think he can't stick around and be a third piece from the left side in that bullpen.
I've never seen him get hit hard. His issue in Baltimore, if he did have a downtime, was his control.
Albies batting right-handed for the first time today. And he slaps one on the ground for Semien. Nice easy hop. And so Perez has retired the first two in the sixth. Freddie Peralta went 5, allowed a run on 4 hits, a walk, 2 strikeouts, 90 pitches. Lowered his ERA to 3.90 and in line for his 5th win of the year. First final of the day, the Marlins beat the Pirates 4-2. Miami is just rolling. 10 of their last 12 now. They get back to 500.
That had to be a 12 noon start game.
Ground ball toward the middle of the diamond. Semien on the back end. Wide throw. And Dom Smith is safe at first. A rare errant throw by Marcus Semien allows Smith to reach.
How would you rule that, Gary?
It's got to be an error.
I agree. On the throw, correct?
Yeah.
E4.
He double clutched it, and I think the thing that surprised him, Dominic was running hard down the first base line.
He didn't have the proper grip.
Daniel Duarte, who looked awfully good yesterday in his inning of work, up again in the Mets bullpen.
Was that an up or down, Gary?
That's an error.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep, they marked it up there.
So now Austin Riley with 2 on the runner at first. Riley's been up twice, popped up both times. And takes the fastball low and away from Perez. 3rd error of the year for Semien. He only had 2 last season when he won a Gold Glove with Texas. That goes to the backstop. Comes back and hits the umpire. And Smith goes down to second on the wild pitch. Our next Pix 11 telecast will be a week from Wednesday when the Mets host the Cubs. Coverage will begin at 6:30 with Cure Auto Insurance pregame. And then the first pitch will come your way at 7:10. James Karinchak is up in the Braves bullpen. He's from not far from here. Rockland County. And a fastball misses to Riley. 2-0. 3-0. And the fastball strike. 3-1. And ball 4, and so the Braves have 2 men on. An error and a walk, putting a couple aboard against Perez. And with Eli White coming up, we'll get the right-hander Duarte into the game. Perez out, Duarte in. 6-1 Mets in the 6th. We'll be right back. Baseball on Pix 11 is brought to you by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. By BritBox, stream the best of British TV. By Cambridge Paving Stones with Armor Tech, your outdoor dreams come true. And by Lexus, experience amazing. A lot of happiness. Daniel Duarte in for his 3rd appearance. He's been terrific so far.
Yeah, he pitched in yesterday's ball game. Clean inning on 13 pitches. So.
And with the right-hander in the game, Walt Weiss will go to his only left-handed bench bat, Rowdy Tellez. Tellez appeared in the opening game of this series and flied out with a couple of men on against Devin Williams. And that one kicks away from Terens, who doesn't know where it is. The runner's advancing to second and third. Wide turn to third by Smith, but he's not going to take any chances down by 5 runs. So now runners at second and third. Second wild pitch of the inning. It went off the umpire's foot. That's why
right up the
Perez didn't know
ankle.
where it was. So first Perez throws a wild pitch. Now Duarte, 2 in scoring position for Tellez.
Yeah, don't treat this game like it's over. There's a long way to go.
Well, Tellez gives him a chance for one swing to make it a 6-4 Wago.
Change up in for a strike. Tellez has only had the one at bat with the Braves. Played last year for Seattle and Texas. Hit as many as 35 home runs in a big league season. Pulls that one, but right at Jared Young, and that's how the inning ends. Tellez lines out, 2 stranded in scoring position for Duarte. Keeps it a 6-1 Met lead in the 6th. Game box score for the Mets. Mets scored 4 runs in the first inning. A.J. Ewing had an RBI double. Ewing's had the big day, single, double, home run. We'll get at least one crack at a cycle before this game is over. James Karinchak on to pitch for the Braves. I misspoke. He's not from Rockland County. He's from Orange County. Went to Montgomery High School.
You know, Orange County went to Bryant College in Rhode Island.
Bichette up for the Mets, and he takes curveball outside for ball 1. Jorge Mateo has come in to play shortstop for the Braves. Mauricio Dubon moves to left. Mike Yastrzemski moves to right.
Got an unusual motion straight over the top.
Oh. That is unorthodox, no doubt.
There was a time when Karinchak looked like he was going to be the closer in Cleveland. Saved 11 games for the Guardians in 2021, but then he got hurt and he was out of the big leagues the last 2 seasons.
He'll just take the ball out of the glove, and then a little hitch before he explodes straight over the top.
Bichette 1 for 3 today, and he takes up and in. Full count. Soto and Young to follow.
Different kind of pitcher, but he reminds me with that hitch a little bit of Doyle Alexander, a pitcher in the 80s. Kind of a funky motion.
Doyle had a great curveball. One of the best curveballs I ever faced.
Yeah.
This is only Karinchak's second appearance for the Braves, his second appearance in the big league since 2023. Three-2 to Bichette. Fouls off the fastball at 96. Bryce Elder, who came into the game with a 2.66 ERA, gave up 6 runs and 10 hits over 4 innings plus. Dylan Dodd worked around a couple of walks to work a scoreless 5th inning, and now Karinchak pitching the 6th. That's trying to grab the rubber game of this series before they head to Cincinnati for a series starting tomorrow night. And Bichette goes down swinging on the high fastball. And Karinchak has a strikeout, 1 away.
Karinchak certainly throws upstairs, RJ.
Yeah, he lives across the letters. Probably has a great spin rate on that 4-seamer that he throws. See if he can handle a high fastball past this man.
Soto has a single and a walk today, 5 for 9 in this series. And one takes the curveball upstairs for ball 1. With Cleveland, Karinchak wore 99. Now he's wearing 00. I believe that's the opposite of what Taijuan Walker did when he came to the Mets, right?
Yes.
Of course, Strider is 99, so he couldn't have that. And in Taiwan's case, Mr. Met had 00, so he couldn't take that. Although Tony Clark once wore 00 as a Met. Yeah, that Tony Clark.
Wow.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Soto.
Keith, I remember when we were talking about Doyle Alexander when he was with Atlanta in '87. They traded him to Detroit.
Or
They got this pitcher, John Smoltz, I think.
yes.
I saw John Smoltz's last start in AAA when I was working for Pawtucket, and he threw 5 perfect innings in Richmond against the Paw Sox, and then he got called up.
And Doyle Alexander went to Detroit, who were in the run and pitched great for them.
9-0 down the stretch. But Braves got a little more long-term benefit out of
Hall
that.
of Famer.
It's kind of like the Larry Anderson for Jeff Bagwell trade
right.
that the Red Sox made.
Had to be a crusher at the time for John, though, because he's from Michigan. You know, that would have been playing for his hometown team.
That'd have been the best thing that ever happened to him.
Right.
Curveball misses for ball 4, and Soto's on base for the 3rd time today. So the Mets, who have not been drawing walks, have drawn 4 of them today. Soto has 2 of them. Soto now has more walks than strikeouts this season, which is a pretty good bet every year, but amazing for a guy who hits for the power that he does.
And amazing for this generation of the game.
Now Jared Young, he had the first RBI for the Mets today, a single to center in the 1st. So if you pitch over the top like that, how do you get on top of it enough to get it in the strike zone?
I mean, it's a very difficult thing to do because I think you're more apt to letting it go, Gary, early, and the ball just stays true. You have to really concentrate on picking a spot. Like I knew when I was trying to throw the ball low, 0-2 count, I used to think about the plate. Like my aim was going to be at the plate. Because if it bounces, you know, Gary Carter will block it. I don't have to worry about that. You know, if you want to waste the pitch, you have to pick a target as well. Just like when you're trying to throw a strike, you pick a target.
One and 2 to Jared Young. A.J. Ewing on deck. That's up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Watch when he follows through. Really follows through straight to first base. You can only do that when you are bent in that such a way.
Soto runs. Leon's throw on target, and he got him. Nice tag by Mateo, and Soto's thrown out for the 3rd time this year. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Side retired. Got 1 run out of that, and they've had only 1 hit since. Freddie Peralta settled down for 5 strong innings. Ciano Perez got a couple of outs in the 6th. Daniel Duarte finished off the 6th, and he'll start the 7th against 8, 9, and 1 in the Braves order. Mike Yastrzemski leads off. So, Keith, does anybody mention to you what today is?
No. Oh, what's the date?
It's Flag Day.
Right. I understand that.
It's June 14th.
Oh, one more day.
No. Today is Nice Game Pretty Boy Day.
Oh, what's when I made the air
June
tonight?
14th, 1987, which didn't really happen, but fictionally it did.
To a lot of people, that it really happened.
Yeah. It's the day of the second spitter.
People ask me all the time if I was the spitter. I say no, it was Roger McDowell defending me.
I mean, that's ball 4, and so Yastrzemski walks on 4 pitches. I mean, you did make errors in your career. Is there a reason why they didn't pick an actual day that you committed an actual error, and they decided to fictionalize the date?
I never asked that question, and that was Jerry's conceived that plot along with Larry David, and no, I never asked that question. But the fact that Jerry was a Met fan is obviously a Met fan. Not was, is.
Knicks fan too.
He was right in in having it against the Phillies because that was the rivalry. I ruined their day, you know.
So I heard. 0-2 to Sandy Leon. Residual still coming in?
Oh yes.
Whose day did you ruin? Kramer and Newman?
Newman. Yeah.
It was Newman that said you ruined my day. Oh no, was it Newman or Kramer? I forget.
I think both. Both of them were there.
Yeah.
It was Newman who demonstrated with Kramer, as strike 3 called, the way the expectoration bounced off.
That's right. Up and to the left.
Back and to the right.
Back and to the right.
That's one magic loogie.
When was that shot, Keith? What year?
I believe 93 or 4.
Okay. Crazy. I was still playing.
I was just retired.
Yeah. Well, I was barely playing.
I was sitting at home
Minding your own business?
playing tiddlywinks.
Michael Harris hits it sharply. Nice grab by Bichette. Turns the double play. 6-4-3.
Wow.
Inning over. That ball took a nasty bounce on Bichette, and he stayed right with it. 6-4-3 to get Duarte through the top of the 7th. Woo! When the baseball world convenes in Cooperstown next month, 2 of the greatest center fielders in the history of the game will be going in together in the class of 2026, representing both these franchises, Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones. Different players, different types of players, but both elite in their own way. And it's only fitting that they should go in together.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Mets and Braves fans converging in upstate New York.
And, of course, Jeff Kent is going in as well. He's got Mets ties.
That's right.
Here is the class of 26. Congratulations to all 3.
I can ask you, too, where do you put Andrew defensively with the center fielders you guys seen in your lifetime?
I have only 2 comps.
Okay.
Willie Mays and Paul Blair.
Okay.
The only 2 I've seen in the class of Andrew Jones.
That's
You, Keith?
I didn't, sometimes you can go in a series and it may not be a series where Andrew gets to make a great play. You did more games than me when Andrew was playing. I was just you were on radio every day. So I didn't see him enough, but he did make some splendid catches.
Reynaldo Lopez in the pitch. A.J. Ewing needing a triple for the cycle, and he goes around 0-1. Well, I mean, there have been other great center fielders, like Ken Griffey, for instance. Ken Griffey Jr. and Devon White.
Yes.
Gary Maddox. Grounded to first, and Lopez covers one away. But the thing about those guys, and I maybe I shouldn't hold it against them, but they all played deeper.
okay.
I was always partial to the center fielders who had the self-confidence to play shallow, the way Jones did, the way Mays did, the way Blair did.
That's a good way to put it, Gary.
You can put Kurt Flood in that class, too. He played a very shallow center field.
Yeah, I never really got to see him that much, except in the World Series.
Reynaldo Lopez, one of the best starting pitchers in baseball a couple of seasons ago, and now this is the first time he's coming out of the bullpen since 2023.
He's made 5 starts this year. Now his 11th relief appearance. Missed most of last year injured. But 2 years ago, he was an all-star. Had a 1.99 ERA across 25 starts in 2024.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because this might be just a myth now, but I always remember Paul Blair when he first came up. Pop up here to Matt Olson for the second out. When he first came up, he was quite a force at the plate as well, offensively, and then got hit. And that kind of changed the trajectory of his offense. Kind of bailed after that a little bit. Is that true, or am I remembering?
He had good years offensively.
Okay.
I don't remember him getting hit. I remember Frank Robinson getting hit on breaking up a double play, and Frank was never the same.
Yeah, it hit a
his
concussion.
Vision went a little south on him.
I remember Paul Blair late in his career playing for the Yankees. He had a game-winning hit in, I think it was Game 1 of the World Series against the Dodgers in '77. Red Beatty's been on base 3 times with 2 singles and a walk.
And of course, Kurt Flood at the '68 7th game of the World Series when he slipped.
Jim Northrup hit it over his head for a triple.
Yep. And that beat Gibson, and Mickey Lolich was the hero. 3 wins.
All complete games.
I know you remember, if you're a Met fan, Lolich was a Met, and he was older and a little out of shape. He was always a little tubby when he pitched. But you look at his numbers.
Oh, he had a great career.
Oh, he had a great career.
Yeah.
Well, the Met fan held it against him, not that he was a little overweight, but that the Mets traded Rusty Staub to get him.
Oh.
That was no good.
And then Rusty went to Detroit and had 70-plus RBIs at the All-Star break in Detroit and didn't go to the All-Star game.
Well, in those days, there were some outfielders that went to the All-Star game every year.
Right.
The Hammer, Mays.
Yes.
Breaking ball outside, ball 4, and Beatty's on base for a 4th time today. So the Mets have now drawn 5 walks. Beatty with a pair. Two out for MJ Melendez. Mets are going to Cincinnati. The Reds are in a down cycle right now. We talked about Ellie De La Cruz being out. The other piece for Cincinnati lately has been their bullpen. They are down 2 important pieces. Emilio Pagan is out, and Graham Ashcraft as well. And their bullpen's been getting beat up. Today, in the 8th inning, Gabriel Moreno with a go-ahead home run against Zach Maxwell, and the Diamondbacks lead them 4-3 in the 8th. The only plus about De La Cruz being out, remember Noelvi Marte got sent down early this year because he was struggling so badly? Well, they called him back up when Ellie got hurt, and he's been tearing it up. In .318 with a couple of home runs in 8 games since returning. So that's a plus for them. But they have fallen to the bottom of that incredibly competitive National League Central.
Mets will be on the western edge of the eastern time zone, and there's a lot more sunlight.
That's right.
Which is fine, except, you still have to be in Cincinnati. They're the central standings.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Those people just can't stand us anyway.
Well, that might as well, gild the lily. There's one great thing about going to Cincinnati, and that is Grater's ice cream. The best ice cream in the country. The black raspberry chocolate chip is maybe the most sublime thing ever.
Well, you turned me on to that. I had never had it until last season. It was the first time I ever had a cup of it.
Where do you find it, Gary?
They have ice cream parlors in Cincinnati.
Right, but
You can get it actually at Whole Foods, but it's not the same in the freezer section.
online, there's a chance that it'll melt. So you can't really get
So
it there.
is it on the walk to the ballpark?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know that big square, that kind of square with the fountain? It's
Fountain
right there.
Square, yeah. It's
Okay.
right on Fountain Square.
I'll have to drop in.
Oh, it's awesome. Beatty gets set to run 3-2 to Melendez. And MJ draws a walk, so the Mets have 2 men on.
Game's got a little sloppy here.
Yeah, it's
So Melendez has walked twice now.
Maybe not 1 foot on the plane, but maybe a toe on the plane for both clubs.
You know, 2 blocks from the hotel in Cincinnati, I stumbled into a really good bourbon and rye bar. That's all. I mean, they just have everything you can. I mean, Kentucky straight bourbon, right?
Yeah.
It's just everything up on at the bar that you can possibly want.
Not pregame.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. It was an off day, I think.
I think.
Terens shoots one foul into the netting. Terens has hit 3 ground balls today, one of them into a double play.
And Cincinnati is one of the few parks that you can walk to the stadium. It's a good, healthy walk. Got a little bit of coming home. You got some hills, a little bit of a incline, but it's a good walk.
Especially if you're walking to the bourbon and rye bar, I guess.
Or ice cream.
Or the
Either
Raiders
way.
ice cream. You could have instead of a root beer float, you can have a bourbon float.
Is that a thing?
That might get you a little intervention if you tell too many people about the bourbon float.
It's better with rye.
Okay.
See, they're talking at the ball game. That's what it's all about. I like that. That's ice cream.
They must have run out of spoons. One of them's using a fork, the other one's using a knife.
Doesn't matter. You can still make it happen.
Luis Terens goes down swinging to end the inning. And he implemented a storm. Powerball double play is here now. Double play with Powerball double play for just $1 more. Try it today. New York Lottery, can you imagine? And here is your Powerball double play replay.
Bullet.
107.
Little Olay right there.
Element completed.
That's what we do.
Is that what it's called, an element?
You know, I had an old boss when I worked in South Carolina in the 80s, and he told me that our job as broadcasters was filling time between the commercials.
Oh, that's
Really?
100%.
Mauricio Dubon is 1 for 3 today. So here we are, you and me and Keith.
Yeah.
We are filling the time between the commercials.
And we got to get the commercials in. And the commercials on, like today, are different than.
Ground ball to the left side. Beatty with a running throw, and he got him by a stride. Nicely done by Beatty to get Dubon one away. Beatty's having a nice day.
Beatty's got a good glove at third base. He is solid.
Carlos Mendoza on his way out to the mound, so Duarte was left in to face the right-hand batter, and now A.J. Minter is going to come in and face Matt Olson. So Duarte does another fine job with an inning and a third hitless. Minter coming in. We'll be right back.
Let's go to commercial, Gary.
Mets baseball is brought to you by Pix 11 in partnership with Wounded Warrior Project. By Slowmans. Visit ac.slowmans.com for incredible savings on central air conditioning. By ShopRite, we are here. And by AAA Northeast, providing trusted roadside assistance, travel services, discount, insurance, and financial services for over 120 years. Okay, commercial's over.
Boy, that was a lot of reading. I'll take over with this element, and that is A.J. Minter, who got 4 outs in the game on Thursday afternoon against the Cardinals.
Oh, excellent fill-in run.
Thank you.
And quickly ahead on Matt Olson, 0-2. So Daniel Duarte, an inning and a third, no runs, no hits after C.N.L. Perez, 2/3 of an inning, no runs, no hits. And you know how I talked about the Reds game with the Diamondbacks?
Yes.
They're down 4-3 in the ninth. They have a rain delay.
Oh.
That's when you're going bad. Swing and a miss, and Minter on 3 pitches takes care of Matt Olson for the second out in the 8th.
Upstairs fastball.
Olson looking at Minter, former teammates, and just blown away.
Yep, upstairs.
Look at him. He's looking at Minter.
I think this is Minter's first time pitching against the Braves.
There you go.
Right? Because the Mets didn't play the Braves in April last year. Grounded to third, and another nice play by Beatty. Up and throwing on target to get Albies side retired. Beautiful play by Brett Beatty, who's having himself an afternoon. On base 4 times and some spiffy defense as well. 6-1 Mets in the 8th. First 15,000 fans at the Mets-Cubs game June 24th will receive a Marcus Semien replica jersey courtesy of U.S. Virgin Islands. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/tickets.
Nothing off Broadway right there, Cherry Lane.
It's the oldest continually running off-Broadway theater in New York. Anthony Molina is in for his second appearance for the Braves. Carson Benj 1 for 3 and a walk, leading off the bottom of the 8th. Takes inside ball 1.
Molina 1 appearance, a couple of innings, but mostly been in AAA starting. 11 appearances, 7 starts.
Molina pitched the last 2 years for the Rockies, and his only appearance for the Braves was in Colorado, where he threw 2 hitless innings.
It's like, I was trying to get out of here.
Yeah. Well, he didn't fare very well for Colorado. 52 appearances over 2 seasons, an ERA of just under 7. He was called up after Spencer Strider got hurt on Friday. I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard anything about Strider in terms of a prognosis. They said elbow inflammation, but I don't know whether it's going to be a short-term or a long-term thing, and maybe they don't know either.
He's had 2 Tommy Johns, right, Spencer?
Yes. Yep. Broken bat looper, and that's going to fall into center field, and Benj is on base for the 3rd time today. His second hit, a broken bat single.
Take it. 2 for 4 in the day with a walk. Got in on the label.
The key is to get this inning to Ewing so he has another chance for the cycle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Need to get somebody else on. Here's Bichette, who's 1 for 4, and he fouls away a first pitch fastball.
So good at that, Gary. You think about those things. I would never think about that.
You know,
well,
the other thing I noticed too, Gary, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's a compliment. Right away you said he's on base. Benj is on base again for the 3rd time. I would not have thought of that, to say that. You're amazing.
Well, that's why we keep scorecards, Keith, so we can
But that's why you're play-by-play and I'm color.
Well, that's true. Also, you played the game, and I fizzled out at 14.
Every time it happens a lot, I look down. Oh yeah, Gary's. Of course he's right. He's got on base 3 times.
Oh, like you're looking at I can't believe he's been on 3 times. Yeah, he has been.
Gosh, have a day.
Well, here's the thing about getting Ewing to the plate. Nobody as young as A.J. Ewing has ever had a cycle as a Met.
Wow.
The youngest ever was Jose Reyes, who was 23, and he was only 21.
Well, in this kind of game, you're rooting for that, right?
Why not?
Yes.
I mean, it's one of those things where if he hits a ball down the line or in the gap, you don't hesitate.
Yeah,
second.
Yeah.
You go for it. I remember Mets had a player named Eric Valent in the 90s.
Yes, remember him?
Playing a game in Montreal, and he needed a triple for the cycle, and the Mets were either up or down big, I forget. And he hits a ball into the right field corner. It's Vladimir Guerrero playing right field for Montreal, and Eric never hesitates. He should have been out by 20 feet, but Guerrero threw it wide of third, and he got the triple, and he got the cycle.
I remember that.
2-2 to Bichette with Juan Soto on deck.
There's a whole period of Mets baseball I have no idea, and that is one of them. Eric Valent.
That's won 10-1. 2004 it happened, so it wasn't the 90s. It was the aughts.
He was bound and determined to get that cycle.
I see Eric in Philadelphia every now and again. Slowly hit ground ball. Albies a long way to get it. The glove flip is offline. Benz will go to third. Bichette heading for second. The pitcher runs it down, and the Mets have runners at second and third. It was going to be a close play, even at Albies flip in on target, but he was unable to get it in the general direction of Olsen at first.
He didn't have the glove fanned towards the first baseman. This should be a base hit and an error. What do you think, Gary?
I'm with you.
And that is how they score it. Base hit for Bichette, his second hit of the day. And now runners at second and third. That's the Braves' second error of the game. And now Soto with a chance to put the icing on the cake with the Mets up 6-1 in the eighth. Juan's already been on base 3 times with a single and 2 walks. The only time he was retired today was when he tried to, bunt. It'd be funny if he squeezed here, huh?
Right, here's the play again. You didn't fan the glove. You want to have the glove facing open and facing. He's got it turned, and it's just going to shove it towards the home plate line in front of the bag. Tough play.
Funniest part of that play for me is that Sandy Leon was the closest to the ball, but he couldn't go for it because it would have left home plate open. So yeah, the pitcher Molina had to track it down.
Yeah, I think the Braves here, they're looking. They got an off day tomorrow. Then they open up a homestand against the Giants in Milwaukee.
Soto swinging 3-0, and he bounces it foul.
Well, we're getting close to Ewing getting another shot.
Well, barring a double play,
yeah,
he's going to get a shot. Soto lines a base hit. That'll bring in Benj. Bichette's being waved around as well. A 2 RBI single for Juan Soto puts the icing on the cupcake. It's now 8-1.
Well, looks like the Mets are on their way to a 3-3 homestand.
Soto on base for the 4th time today.
The freeze by Bichette. Harris kind of gives Bichette home plate.
Yep. Jared Young breaks his bat as he bloops one to Albies for the first out of the inning. And now Ewing will get a chance for the cycle.
Soto swing here. Doesn't hit a home run every time. A little bit toward the end of the bat, but look at that top hand I mentioned earlier. How it looks like he's got an uppercut swing, and then he comes over with that top hand and really levels off on the backside of his swing, the back half of his swing, really.
So now Ewing, who's doubled, singled, and homered, and he swings and misses at a first pitch curveball, 0-1. So the outfield is fairly straight away against Ewing. Where's his best chance for a triple?
Right field line, absolutely, because the right fielder is trying to shade to the gap. So anything over the first baseman's head gives him a shot.
Quickly down on the count 0-2.
That's 380 out there in right center. If he can hit it out there, he can go run.
Yeah.
He can run.
There's a few places, but if it gets down the right field line, he's automatic.
It's only their left center field gap's 370, and that's not very far. I mean, Wrigley Field is 368.
As shallow as Dubon is in left, if he hits it to left center, he might get a triple.
Molina throws a lot of breaking balls, though, so that's more apt to be pulled. And let's see if he can do it. I'd love to see a triple.
Oh, so would I.
Ewing has 1 triple in his first 104 big league at bats. And A.J. goes down swinging for the second out.
Oh, well, next time. There'll be plenty more for you.
Hey, 3-hit day with a double, a homer, and 2 RBIs.
Yeah,
He'll
that's
take
right.
that.
You darn right. And there'll be plenty of other days ahead of this young man.
Mets with a dozen hits today. Marcus Semien has one of the Mets' 2 home runs. That came right behind Ewing's in the 5th. In fact, it came on back-to-back pitches. The last 2 pitches Bryce Elder threw.
Pitch was a strike. Battery challenging.
Marcus challenges the strike call. And loses. So the Mets are out of challenges. ABS challenge presented by Nissan.
He lost one last night as well, if I remember correctly, or yesterday afternoon.
Yes, he did. Strike 3 in the 6th inning yesterday.
Might have to go back to the blackboard on this ABS stuff. I think we need a new tutorial.
Well, you don't mind it so much late in the game. You know, you can't take them with you.
Yeah, 8-1 though.
Really? Agreed.
Right? I don't know.
It's like let's get in the shower, have a little Budweiser after the game, and let's get on the plane and get to Cincinnati.
A lot of talk of alcoholic beverages on this broadcast today, much more than usual.
I should say Heineken. Sorry.
Is that their sponsor?
Behind us.
Don't we have something to read?
No.
No, we're filling the space.
That's right.
Oh, this is the space filling. Okay.
Well, the cafe, or what do you want to call it? The lounge. Oh, look at that cool cat.
His future's so bright.
Oh, wow. That is a classic.
Oh, you're talking the lounge behind us.
The lounge behind us is the Heineken lounge.
There you go.
Look at you.
Look at that young tiger.
You're much more aware of the sponsors than we are. Kim.
I walk in that way. You do too, don't you? No, you don't.
I just don't look around. I'm looking straight ahead. Just trying to get to work.
I noticed they have really nice Heineken chairs, high top chairs. So they're really gorgeous.
We'll see if we get a case delivered to the booth.
Can you get some for your man cave? Do you have a man cave out there east?
Well, I had to do the pregame. I had to do a documentary at Daryl's, I guess, producing for the 86 Mets. So I had to do the interview in the lounge around 10 o'clock this morning. So
how long?
I noticed the Heineken lounge.
How long did they have you there for?
Well, almost an hour.
On the inside corner, Simeon's caught looking, and that'll end the inning. Mets and a couple in the 8th. They lead 8-1 going to the 9th. After the game today here on Pix 11, it's a special Sunday afternoon edition of New York Nightcap presented by Nissan, followed by the Pix 11 News with the incomparable Kitey Tong.
Kitey. We love Kitey.
I mean, you talk about a New York legend.
Yes.
Yes.
9th inning, Mets on the verge of taking the rubber game of this series. Huascar Brazoban will try and get the final 3 outs.
Well, Huascar, who's usually opening, if he's not relieving, is going to close this one out.
He had one of his more dominating appearances of the season on Friday night. Faced 5 batters, retired them all, and struck out 4 of the 5. Mets have gotten 3 hitless innings out of their bullpen today. 2 outs from Cionel Perez, 5 from Daniel Duarte, and 2 from A.J. Minter. Dom Smith drove in the Atlanta run with a first inning sac fly. The Braves loaded the bases with nobody out on 3 hits against Freddie Peralta to start the game. Dom drove in a run with the sac fly, and the Braves have had only 1 single since, and that came from Sandy Leon, who had only 3 hits all year. So the Braves offense has gone cold. Dom pops one up. Semien calls for it. And that's the first out of the night. Well, the Heineken chair has entered the booth.
There it is.
I believe that, Ronnie, when we have the Kidcaster in next month, this will be your chair.
I have that.
That's a big league chair.
I mean, it's
like that
much
chair.
better than the stool they put you on.
And it's got a nice cushion, Ron.
I don't know. It's got a little Russian feel to me.
Oh,
I mean,
I was thinking Lone Star, Texas.
there we go.
Russ is
All
spot
right.
on.
Can we do that next time? I can have this chair? Oh, nice.
Fly ball out to left center. Ewing has it. Riley retired, and the Braves are down to their final out of the day.
Okay, I know we have 2 outs, but I don't know if we've ever told our fans. After the game, you, Keith, and Gelbsy get on the charter to go to Cincinnati. So
Right.
what is it? Bus leaves in an hour.
Yeah.
Where do you guys sit on the plane?
Back.
All the way back?
Yeah, all the way back.
Like in the bathroom?
I don't take it personal.
No, it's just back.
We're just, it's one of, that's fine.
Jorge Mateo up for the first time in the game.
Do you get a glass of wine and a meal, or?
Yes, a meal and a glass of wine, or if you want a beer.
But no beer or wine on the charter coming home.
Home, right, exactly.
Ball lands beyond Terenz's reach. We'll be on the air tomorrow at 6:30 from Cincinnati. David Peterson will pitch in some capacity tomorrow for the Mets. Chase Burns will go for the Reds.
Yeah, you're going to have to be on top of your game. That young guy has some heat. He brings some heat when he pitches.
He was about as impressive as any pitcher we've seen this year here at Citi Field a few weeks ago. Mateo pulls one foul, and the Braves are down to their final strike. One and two to Jorge Mateo, and he fouls back a fastball to stay in it. Freddie Peralta in line for his 5th one of the year. He gave up a run and 4 hits over 5 innings, and the Mets bullpen is not allowed a hit. They're still on a rain delay in Cincinnati. Maybe we'll get to Cincinnati before the game ends.
You guys can go and see the last inning, last couple of outs.
Gary, I'll meet you on the corner.
1-2 coming. And Mateo takes the changeup down. It's 2-2.
One of my favorite restaurants on the road, though, is still there in Cincinnati, the Precinct, which was there even when I was a player.
It's a cab ride, though.
Yeah,
It's a good
yeah.
cab ride.
2-2. In the air to center field, and Ewing got a late start, gets back there, and the ball game is over. Big day for A.J. Ewing with a single, double, and home run. Freddie Peralta gets the win. 4 hitless innings for the Mets bullpen. And in their first meeting of the year with the first place Braves, the Mets take 2 of 3 as they win today 8-1.
And they get banged out 13 hits. Ewing, of course, with the double, the home run, 2 RBIs. Soto with 2 RBI. A big offensive day for the Mets. And also Peralta, 5 innings, 1 run, gets the win.
Yeah, his 5th win, and you got to give a shout out to the bullpen of Perez, Duarte, Minter, and Brazoban. 4 scoreless.
4 scoreless while staying away from their top 3 relievers. That's nice to see. The Mets bullpen continues to pitch well, but the Mets offense broke out 2 of the 3 games in this series. 7 runs Friday, 8 runs today. That's a good sign going forward as the Mets get within 7 games of 500. They've now won 10 of their last 16 as they win this one 8-1 over Atlanta. Mets finish off a 3-3 homestand. They'll head for Cincinnati off a win. More coming up from Citi Field in just a moment.